Guys, what's going on? This is Matt and Dominic, and today I'm going over the Simplisafe security system for your house. It is a do-it-yourself system, very easy to install. I've watched so many videos and absolutely love the system before even installing it. But of course, I will have all the testimonials provided at the end after I test the system for a few weeks. So by the time you see this video, this has been installed a long time ago. So let's go ahead and go over. So it arrives in this box. It's not too big. And the first thing you get is you either get a permit for your monitoring permit. Depending on where you live, your police department or fire department might require you to have a permit in order to not receive a large fine for a dispatch of emergency services from your home alarm. So make sure you read this, make sure you call your local police department, do not dial 911, that is for emergency purposes. Look up on Google your local police department, it should have their phone number. Go ahead and ask them about this information, it tells you everything here. But let's go ahead and move on to what actually arrived. So obviously I live in a two-story house, so there are multiple entryways, there's multiple doors, multiple windows, and of course it's a large house, so let's go ahead and go over what's in here. Obviously the base station, this will be receiving all of the information about the sensors, as well as keep an 8-hour battery as stated in the manual. And it used to be like 4 days in their commercials, but now they say it's 8 hours. Still a lot of time. I mean, there's not a lot of times that the power's out for 8 hours. In fact, has never happened in this area, but this is the base station. We'll take a look at each one of these separately later on. Okay, this is the wireless keypad. This will go on either to one of your entry points, like a front door. For me, I'm going to place it by the front door and the garage door. They're right next to each other. I'm not worried about the basement. Nobody really enters the house through the basement. This is one of the ways to edit your system, the settings. You can also do it online using your keychain remote. There's a mobile app, but that requires a $24.99 service a month. There's also a $14.99 service that will allow you to dispatch authorities when your alarm goes off. They will contact you and everything. And then there's the free method. By not applying, you can just you'll have the alarm service installed, but nobody will be dispatched. Okay, guys. So this right here is a Simplisafe panic button. This will go in the master bedroom. Literally, what it is it's a panic button. You press it just like that. It will contact the base station and it will set off an alarm. It has silent mode, which will actually set off an alarm discreetly. It'll still dispatch emergency services, but say you don't want the intruder to know that you set off an alarm, that will be silent mode. If you do want them to know that you set off an alarm, so to scare them off, maybe have them run away, which is better off for you, I guess, you would just keep it in regular mode. This is the 105 decibel wireless silent, guys. This thing is so freaking loud. I have not heard it in real, like in person, but on videos it is so freaking loud. This is definitely going outside. I didn't even want to test this indoors. This is to alarm neighbors and simply just cause a distress to make the intruder run away once again, because the best thing to happen to you guys is if the intruder runs away. You never want him to stay home. Or at your house, I guess. This is the extra keychain remote. One has already come pre-shipped in the box. There was a cover here. I actually never showed you guys. This is the cover. There's one keychain remote in here. The other one is in there. I'm going to give one to my parents and one to myself. Let's see. These are the entry sensors. Like I said, this is a large two-story house. Definitely going to have to use at least 3 for the entryways to the house, and then the rest will probably go on basement windows and other windows around. Probably going to order a lot more of them as the time moves on. Last but not least, this is the motion sensor. This thing here is very useful. A little too bright, can't focus on the words. This is the motion sensor. It goes in the corner, 5 feet off the ground is what is recommended. It can look down on the ground 45 degrees. At the angle 45 degrees, and it looks side to side at 90 degrees for a total coverage of 180 degrees side to side. So if you put it in the corner of a rectangular or a square room, it should be able to easily cover the entire room. And it also looks, I believe it is 30 feet out. It's in the manual, so don't quote me on that, but I think it can look out 30 feet out. So that's a really nice distance. Definitely installing it somewhere over here. So it's a big space here. Just want to make sure it definitely sees the staircase upstairs, because the biggest thing to protect is when you're, you know, you know, just upstairs compartments, I guess, where people are located, because that's more important than anything else in the house, are the lives of people. Okay, so anyways, that is the unboxing of the Simplisafe system. Now I'm going to go ahead and install it. Unfortunately, I don't have anybody else to hold the camera for me while I do that, so I'm going to install it, but I will go ahead and obviously demonstrate the system to you in test mode and all that kind of stuff. So I will be back. Okay guys, so I'm about to plug in the base station. I decided to show you guys parts of the installation. I'm going to try to hold this the phone with one hand and plug it in. I also have a phone line, so that's kind of a backup method. It already has a chip in it. I believe it's by Verizon. It can also have T-Mobile, stuff like that, depending what the coverage in your area is. My coverage for Verizon is fantastic. I'm a customer of theirs. So here we go, plugging in for the first time.
Welcome to Simplisafe, starting your system in test mode. When you have finished installing your sensors, you may exit test mode by pressing off.
Okay, there you go. So test mode is currently on. So obviously, setting off any sensors will not set off the alarm. It will say, for example, if you disconnect the entry sensor, it will say things such as entry sensor or motion sensor, wireless keypad, stuff like that. There is a blue glowing light indicating that there's indeed a good connection to the monitoring center, but the subscription is not yet activated, so nothing will get really set off at this point. But after you're out of test mode, you will have 3 days to play around with your system, which will not set off any authorities. Actually, a really nice cord here, pretty long, so definitely reaches any outlet here, even a little bit of access. Once again, you don't need a phone line unless your coverage in your area is just non-existent. Here the coverage is really good, but just in case it is not able to connect wirelessly to the center, I do have a landline plugged in as a backup method. All right guys, I'm going to go ahead and start installing some entry sensors. I will be right back. So here is the actual entry sensor. This is the size of it. My hands are pretty large. I don't know what to compare it to. I guess I can compare it to, say, I don't know, like a regular light switch. So here is the size. All right. It's not too big. Here's the door. So it's going to go up here, right there. The maximum distance you can have between this is the sensor and this is the magnet is 2 inches, is what it says in the manual. But obviously you want to place it as close as possible, just in case you know, the door rattles a little bit, or something happens, accidentally the door starts open. I don't know what can happen, but 2 inches is your maximum distance before the sensor is actually triggered. And you'll see a light here. It shines blue when the door closes and opens. These two notches here show where you should place the magnet in between those two. So this part will probably go up here, just like that, and then the actual magnet will go down on the door. So let's go ahead and of the, I guess, the entry sensor. Now the funny thing is I just realized there's a metal sheet embedded into my door, which is actually kind of cool. So because this is a magnet, it's not even attached yet. I mean, this is still, the adhesive is still available. I haven't used it yet. Of course I will. But the funny thing is it sticks right there. It just, boom, sticks right on. You can slide it around and stuff. So it's kind of cool. I can test out where to place that right now. And see, like I told you, you have to make sure it's kind of close. So right there's the end of my door. I'm going to place it right there. And here's a test. Listen up. The station will actually say entry sensor. That's kind of quiet. I don't know if you guys hear that, so listen again. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you heard that, but pretty much it says entry sensor, and it also blinks. Yeah. Anyways, that is how you pretty much install this on the doors. I will go ahead and show you a window as well. Okay guys, so here's an example of an entry sensor on a window. This is a window that simply slides up when you open it up. So let's go ahead and pop it open. It has locks here, and then the magnet is placed on the actual window, and then the entry sensor is facing away from what it usually will be. The light is on the other side. It really doesn't matter. I mean, who's going to be looking for the light? The system will still notify me if it's open. Actually, the alarm is armed right now, so I will go ahead and set it off. It's still in test mode, so nobody's going to get dispatched. Don't do this after 3 days or anything. They're going to get mad at you. Anyways, let's do this. Okay, so all right, let's actually go over here. You can hear the keypad ticking. The base station is quiet until the alarm is set off. It's telling me to enter the pin. I have exactly 30 seconds to do this, and I can either enter it on here, or I actually carry a remote on my belt here that I can click off, away, and panic. Now the base station is in the other room, which is over here, and it just went off. I kind of jumped. So by the time the alarm goes off, let's go ahead and turn it off. Okay.
Alarm off. Warning, there was a recent alarm triggered by an entry sensor. Warning, an entry sensor is not responding. See the keypad for
Okay.
details.
So here's what happened. When the alarm went off on the base station, it doesn't matter if the base station gets destroyed by the intruder at that point, because the signal has been sent to the monitoring center of Simplisafe if you have the subscription. Mine doesn't. It says no link to dispatcher because I haven't signed off yet. And I hear, actually, guys, when say an intruder has entered your house and you come back, the first time you open the door again, you will actually hear the system say there was a recent alarm triggered by an entry sensor, because that's what triggered it. It was that window over there. If it, say, was the motion sensor, which is over there on the wall, which I'll go over later, it would have also said something different. It also mentioned that one of the sensors is not responding. Now, that could either be one of the sensors around the house, but it actually isn't. I have one sensor that was never placed yet, and it's just resting right there. No. This is a sensor that was never placed, and that is what it's referring to. Now, I can remove it from the system, but I'm not going to yet. I'm going to install it soon, just don't have a spot for it yet at the moment. But anyways, so there's a panic button on the Simplisafe. Yeah, you see the sensor. There's a panic button on the keypad itself. Once again, if an intruder destroys this, it does not matter. You can run the system without this component. In fact, even though it recommends to install the keypad first out of all the features of the system, I installed all the entry sensors first. The keypad was the very last thing I've done. Let's go over a few things on the actual keypad. So you do have a menu button on here. There's not a lot of features, and I kind of like that. I like the simplicity. Remember, it's Simplisafe. It's not complex safe or anything like that. And so I'm going to enter my PIN. Okay, so to get into the menu, you need a master PIN. That PIN will be able to arm the system, disarm the system, remove the alarm. What else? Pretty much it's a master PIN. You can also add additional pins using your keychain remote. You plug it into any computer, pop this off, it's a USB key. You'll open up a thing in a browser, so it doesn't install anything on your computer, which is nice. You can do it at any computer that supports a USB port. And then on there you can add additional pins. By the way, the key is also protected with your master PIN, so say somebody gets a hold of your key, they can't just randomly secretly add other keys to your system without knowing the master PIN. So say you have a worker or a babysitter that comes by every single day, and you don't really want her messing with the system, such as changing pins and all that kind of stuff, obviously. So you would give her a different PIN that you identify in the system as, say, the babysitter. So if you sign up for the $14.99 plus service, you actually get text messages saying the babysitter PIN number 2 has just unlocked the house, or has just disarmed the system, or has just armed the system, and stuff like that. So it's very, very, very useful overall. The way you navigate the menus, this is back, or I guess this is left. Home is right. It says change PIN. The dialing prefix, don't even mess with that. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe your landline component. Add component. Say you buy a free sensor, you buy a carbon monoxide, a smoke sensor, water sensor, anything else that comes out in the future, you would add a component here by entering all the good stuff. Each component has a unique barcode. So yeah, anyways, you can remove a component. Say I will never put that sensor up, and I'm getting annoyed that it's always telling me that the sensor is not contacting the base station, whatever. It's annoying. I'm going to remove it, but for now, like I said, I won't. By the way, to enter any of these, you just press the away. It's very self-explanatory. Match of these buttons, doesn't take too much to think about that. By the way, each of them have a number, so like I can press 1 and I'll go back to change pin. Number 4 will be remove component. 2 will be dialing prefix. 6 will be to exit that menu. 5 is the test mode. You know what? Let's just go ahead and go into test mode right now. Okay, so in case you don't hear what the base station is saying, you're probably not. It's just saying the system has just entered test mode. If you want to test your motion sensor, please use the button below it. So right now the motion sensors are not actually active. What I mean by that is they're not getting tested right now until you push the button below it, which I'll show you in a second. But all these sensors right now, I mean, they're